something really cool happen, and I really wanted to share it with a video. If you've read the title, I think you know what's coming here. I hold a piece of SpongeBob animation art, and it's thanks to the generosity and a really cool thing from Frank Svoboda, the Animation Art Emporium. You can look him up online, but if you haven't seen our interview with him, just go back one video with Cell Talk and watch the whole thing. It was really informative and good. But if, in case you missed it, there's one part of that video I want to highlight right here.
He's the primitive SpongeBob. He's not
Yeah.
actually SpongeGar. Let me get it. It's right.
Okay. And I was going to load up a picture. There is a cell setup I'm actually watching on eBay right now, and I'll show it to you when you come back. Let me bring it up to the camera here first. I've been watching these two. Now,
Yeah.
I've been watching this one because what a great episode and perfect side characters.
They're ready to do their hand butt.
Oh, it was awesome. That's the type of stuff I like the most, those type of things.
I have one, only one cell out of 5,000 cells. There was only one cell of those two guys when they were young. You remember when they watched the TV and they saw the images on the TV?
Sure, yeah.
I love the cell of that. Only one.
So cool.
Never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I mentioned to Frank that I'm a fan of the side characters. I'm a fan of the villains. Oh, sometimes the artwork for the villains gets swept under the rug. You know, you focus on the main characters and you don't really focus on the artwork, the style, the facial expressions, the movements of the villains. And they sometimes are as good or sometimes better depending on the way the artist renders them. Much like the background art in animation cells. Background art, I don't think gets the credit it deserves. Some of them are just, beautiful pieces of work that you don't get to see the full scope and aspect of them, but man, are they detailed. And if you collect background art, you've seen that firsthand. So I hold here something very special that happened after the interview. I get a message from Frank, and he said, hey, I'd like to send you something. I thought it was a thank you note. He mentioned, okay, so first he mentioned it's a catalog, so, that's cool. You know, I know in the 90s, Disney and some of these other studios, Warner Brothers, would send these catalogs out for you to shop and look at some of the different animation art they had available. Well, look what I get in the mail a couple of days later. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Frank sent me a gift, and it's my first SpongeBob animation art, and I just wanted to show it to you. I just think it's so beautiful. You ready? Look at these two. How cool is that? Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Oh, is that so cool? So I want to take it out and show it to you in a little bit more detail, but I also wanted to point out the way that they present this. It's sent in a sleeve, and you have the top mat. It's a printed background that is about the same size as the mat, just a little bit smaller. And, of course, the cells, this is 3 individual cells. Barnacle Boy, there is Mermaid Man's body, and Mermaid Man's head. How awesome is this? I am just absolutely blown away. And the fact that it's the example I showed to him, the type of animation cell art that I collect, I'm just blown away. And there was a really nice thank you note that he put in here, and I don't want to read the whole thing, but he said, well, maybe I will read the whole thing. I hope you have as much fun collecting as I have in the past 27 years. Oh, and I'm just absolutely blown away. All right, let's take a closer look at this SpongeBob animation cell. So to better hold them up, what I decided to do was use archival tape on the backside and put them up onto the mat. And the reason I did that, again, is just because it's going to be easier to hold it all up so you can kind of see it. And I think I'll be able to bring it a little bit closer to the camera that way. So here's a quick close-up of Mermaid Man. Look at that. And like I mentioned, his head is different. So let me see if I can peel back the head. Okay, here's the, so I'll peel back the body so you can kind of see the head by itself. Okay. It's almost like that's me. Huh. And then the body goes on underneath that. Okay, you can kind of see the way it's animated. And then Barnacle Boy is its own cell. Kind of in a way, I can superimpose my face into there. You think that would make for a good thumbnail? And on the back side, here, I'll flip it around. Nice extreme close-up of these characters. These are well-loved characters, too. And it really surprised me when he mentioned, because he has the Animation Art Emporium, he mentioned that he'll sell 10 SpongeBobs before he'll do a Sandy or a side character. And that really surprised me because I thought there were more people like me that enjoy the side characters. Like on Simpsons, for example. When I was growing up, it's all Homer. Oh, Homer's the greatest. And since then, Bart has become more of a lead character than Homer. But when I was watching The Simpsons in the early to mid to late 90s, in that 90s era, up in basically when they were still using animation cells, that's what I loved. And when I got a little bit older, and now the way I am today, I look at the side characters. So when I go searching online for Simpsons animation cells, I look for really awesome scenes that include side characters, not necessarily the main family. Look at this. I mean, how cool is this, honestly? And that's appeals to me. Like these guys, as much as I love SpongeBob and as much as I love the show in the way that they presented the characters, I just think this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to collect. This is exactly what I want to hang up on my wall and display proudly. This is one of my favorite animation cell setups now, all thanks to Frank. Wasn't that cool? So, I don't know, it might be worth mentioning here that he didn't ask me to make this video. In fact, I asked him, I said, do you mind if I put something together? I'd really like to show this off. And he said, feel free to. Oh, yeah, let me show you the background, too. Oh, so here's the background art. Let me pull this. It's copied. Okay. Here's the background art. And common scene. You know what I was really surprised? And other SpongeBob SquarePants collectors may be able to benefit from this. The SpongeBob Wikipedia, there's different wikis for different shows, things, people and fandoms and create their own closed circuit information for whatever that is. And in this case, it's SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, I don't know who spent the time to do this, but they posted scans of the background art. They posted scans of individual characters. So if you're looking for background art for SpongeBob, you can go on that fan wiki page and go through the different seasons, the different episodes, and they have a lot of the artwork posted on there. It's really remarkable. I don't know if a lot of other shows do that. That's kind of a first for me to see that. But I'm just still blown away by all of this. I just think it's so awesome. And I got to give a huge thank you to Frank. He didn't ask for anything in return. I mean, I asked him permission to do this video. I said, do you mind if I do it? I didn't want to, post it. And, I'm doing this because I'm just truly blown away by it. And I wanted to show off just such a cool cell setup. I'm so looking forward to hanging this up on my wall and putting this as part of my collection. I hope you enjoy it too. Maybe you want to send me some photos of your favorite animation cell setups. You can always do that on YouTube. I think you can post links to, different pictures that you posted online. It'd be good to see that too. Again, I want to give a shout out to the Animation Art Emporium. This isn't a sponsored post or anything like that. I just truly appreciate Frank for what he did, and of course, spending all that time during the interview. Then afterwards, going above and beyond like that, it just blows me away. So, if you want to look for SpongeBob animation cells, animation artwork, things like that, he's the keeper of it. He's the one that has the massive collection from that first season when they still physically drew out the animation art through cell form, celluloids. Animation Art Emporium. Look him up online, and you can find some characters. And I would even bet if you messaged him saying you're looking for something specific that he might be able to look through and see if it's not posted, he might be able to find it for you if you know it's from the first season. I would even wager a guess that you can communicate with him that way through the Animation Art Emporium. Well, I just wanted to make this a quick video. I thought it was so cool. I am so thankful, so grateful. And thank you for all the subscribers and people that watch these videos. I got a great message on Facebook just the other day saying someone was watching the interviews, and as a new collector, he was very thankful for some of the things that we're sharing. And that's a big part of it. New collectors have a lot of questions, and I think these interviews and these videos do help. So if you are someone that's a new collector, welcome in. I would ask you to subscribe or reach out to me. I always like to communicate with you that way. There's a great community of people that answer questions and like to show off their stuff and help other new collectors out. So don't feel afraid to go out there and ask questions. That's encouraged. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.